Welcome, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Session 14. Where we had left off, our band of edge runners had been given a task by an associate they've come to know as Diehard. Diehard being a veteran of the Fourth Corporate War, a combatant from Arasaka, and someone that Orvin had biz with before. Well, let's just say that they found out maybe what happened to their good medtech friend. But Diehard put them to task to find and locate and stalk a Biotechnica executive by the name of Marcus Calhoun. Little did they know that Requiem, their new Ripperdoc friend, Marcus Calhoun is an associate of his, one that pays way above market value for any cybernetic implants and drugs that go through this Ripperdoc's office. Maybe even recruits the down and out for medical trials, as this section of Biotechnica is in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. Requiem decided he would warn Marcus. But Trix and Loup found it a little fishy when Requiem stepped out almost immediately upon hearing this. So Trix followed him. But as Trix was attempting to get through the fire exit door, well, she tripped the fire alarm and got herself caught, only to meet Marcus Calhoun face to face shortly after. And so, that's where Trix left off, and where Requiem can be found at the moment. But during this time, Loup has decided that since there's a night market going on tonight, that she'd pay a visit and see if she can offload some of these weapons and drugs to see if somebody would be willing to purchase them all off of her hands. And what do you know? She's taken along Slideye. So, between you two ladies, what would you like to do?
First, I call Sam for a ride.
Which he would happily do. Given that he doesn't work nights, he is free to do so.
I poke the crate of weapons, pull the shotgun out, and I flaunt it to Slideye. I say, well, Slide, are you thinking about taking up any change of tactics yourself?
Go with what works. Besides, got my eyes on something a little bit excessive. But we'll end up doing that when... We'll end up doing that when we end up having the chance to really end up reconnoitering. At this point, everybody's still healing, everybody's still winged. Last thing I want to end up doing is getting caught on the scream sheets saying that I ended up deciding to end up going out in a blaze of stupidity.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate. Coffee.
Yes.
it's an unusual ask, but in the box of weapons,
Mm,
uh, could there be a stun gun?
I don't see why not. Let's see. What
It
is
is it is an exotic heavy pistol.
an exotic? Is that in the expensive range, or is that in
It's
like
100 EB,
okay, so that's in like the everyday
so
cost
it's
value
it's in
range.
the everyday cost, but it is premium grade.
Okay.
Is the only thing.
Let's leave it up to chance. High or low?
Low it is.
So we'll roll a d10. It is a 6. That's a high, so no, sadly not.
No dice. All right, so be it.
You might be able
Lou's
to
gonna have to
find
go
one
shopping for
in
that.
the yeah, in the night market, but as far as in your current possession, no, sadly not.
Mm-hmm. Okie doke.
Okay.
Yeah, so she puts the shotgun back in and she says, uh, well, the market will be nice. It'll be good to get our pay. Finally, pay off some of those bills. Shit that I owe Nathan for what went
Putting your
down.
head back together.
Yeah. Or at least the hardware, anyway.
Unfortunately. Until this. Pardon. Unfortunately. Still got to be in the market for more jobs. And ever since the last one, I'm unsure on how we're going to end up going about it at this point. We already had Trix stitched together. Had you having to end up having your head recycled. And me, I had to end up getting so many dings out of my skin, it's inconvenient. So, something needs to change. There's a lesson to be learned. Night City's screaming at us for something, and we're still figuring out how to really listen to her. Doesn't any wonder why I used to operate solo.
Yeah, and there's a reason why I stuck to petty theft and fixing up solos like you.
And now you have a want for bigger and better things. Should tell you something about the nature of greed if you want to philosophize on it.
Nature of pride, too.
Yep. So, what do you have in mind?
Make enough to cover rent.
How?
Well,
I'm looking for work, Lulu.
hmm.
You're young. Want to end up seeing you get a little older at the very least. But like everybody else, I don't work for free.
Yeah. You know, doing bodyguard gigs for the Tinos or hunting down information for a corpo from time to time doesn't scratch that itch, does it?
You see her and she's in a pause. Takes her a moment before she responds proper. That itch, huh? No. Can't say as I can remember that feeling. It's not a need for me. It's just look for the gig. Do it. Never been about pride. It's about the money because that's the game. But the itch, adrenaline rush, no. If anything, I feel less comfortable in those moments.
You're telling me there's nothing else under these neon lights that you want? You keep pumping that engine for?
Not anymore. Might have been one time. Now, when I think back on those nights, it makes me wish that my stomach wasn't artificial and so I can actually feel the need to puke.
Yeah, they weren't the good days, I'm sure, but something about this has to feel good. Has to feel like I don't know.
You do it
Like we're
because you want to end up looking after your roomies, your friends. You want to make the world a little bit more right in your eyes. You want to change the pendulum out. You want to shift the board. You want to be remembered as the person who shook things up, lifted and then overturned the status quo. Build up to end up being something great. And you're young, ambitious, flighty on occasion, but you got all these thoughts in your head. And whatever gives you that go moment, whatever puts and turns on the nos, well, hey, it's all good. You get to laugh as the bullets end up coming by. I remember that, but I remember that in the same way as maybe you remember being 6 years old and watching your favorite toy go down the storm drain. It's still an emotional twinge to it, but it's an echo of what it was. To me, it's Humpty Dumpty putting all the pieces together and realizing a few of them went down the drain right with that toy. You could give me the penthouse suite in Arasaka Tower. You can have me riding in a Delamain wherever I want, premium package deal. You can offer me stacks of eddies with no traceable amount. And it wouldn't change a thing for me. Not all of us have the luxury of wanting to be a legend. So I'm guessing you're going to ask yourself the obvious question, why? It's putting Humpty Dumpty together again with a lot of pieces missing. I want to know if that's possible.
Lou does something that she hasn't done in all your talks so far. She gets up from the chair and she comes around the table. She puts her arms around you.
And it's probably cold. Synth skin. No blood, no veins, just pumps, wires, and tubes. She looks at you. Don't get
Do I feel like you?
Even
She
through
looks at you in confusion. Go
Even-
ahead, coffee.
Oh, I was just gonna say, even through synth skin, you can still feel things.
Mm-hmm. She does look at you in confusion, though. Not sure what to make of the statement.
If I felt like you felt, then I'd probably be pretty bitter too.
What makes you think it's bitterness? She pushed you away softly and not in a condescending way, but get a little distance method.
Yeah. Maybe you're just sad. She gives you like a sad smile.
I'd like to be.
She squeezes your shoulder.
When you all get to enjoy your drink, enjoy your social lubricants, when you get to party on, maybe find that playboy who's currently on the side, or end up finding that sweetheart on the corner of the room, or hell, just end up deciding to have a party with a couple of dolls. Living life. You're enjoying yourself, so I know I did my job.
You used to tell me back when we would hang out with Orvin. You know, when it got to be too much for me sometimes, and I didn't know why. That I should try to hang on to it. That I should try to experience it. Try to live a little. Try to be human. But Why don't you ever follow your own advice?
When you look at me, you see somebody who operates as yourself. Somebody who may be close to a friend. Maybe somebody who will talk to you. Somebody who's been around the block a few times and has operated this game a little longer than you have. But I hope the advice is solid at least. But that's not what you're dealing with. I'm a ticking time bomb, Lou. I'm a ticking time bomb at any given point. And all I can do is try and make sure I don't shorten that fuse unnecessarily. Don't scramble the digital timer. I go out and say I enjoy a few booster shots. And I get a little rowdy. And something happens. Maybe then I'll feel something, a moment of panic. Maybe I'll lash out or tell somebody to get their distance and try and push them away and not realize I'm all blades out. Maybe I'll forget that some of the fibers I have are more akin to a hydraulic press than muscle tissue. Snap an arm. Break a shoulder. Shatter a jaw and drive the cornea bone right into the brainstem. To you, that's awesome. To me, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. So I have to be very, very careful.
Slideye, you think that you're this tin soldier and everyone else is made of porcelain?
How many of you got broken? You almost ended up dead. How many times have I been shot? Stabbed? Bashed in? And to me, it's a couple of dents.
Okay, but my point is that you're not the only one that can take it.
Last time you took it, you ended up on the operating table.
Forget about me. Forget about me for a second. Maybe I'm not your ideal partner here, sweetheart.
Who is?
Look, I don't know the guy. The point is, somebody out there can handle your whole deal. And if you're not open to it when you find it, then it's going to pass you by. Hell, maybe it did already.
You're thinking of Orvin.
I'm thinking that you don't have to be scared about blowing up. You blew up a couple of times and nobody was any worse for wear. Nobody was scared. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was anything. And as a matter of fact, I think Sam said something about something he was going to do to put a safety on your spring-loaded, thing. Like, there's lots of stuff you can do to fix your shit. And if you keep working on your shit, how long before you're better? Not only that, you're not a time bomb waiting to go off. You're a spent shell. Yeah, maybe there's some fallout involved, but wait a few half-lives and it'll be safe enough for wolves and flowers and a radioactive cabbage or something. You deserve love too. That's all I'm saying. Don't close yourself off to it.
Do you give everybody this pep talk?
No, just the saddest bitches I know.
Must have gone through a lot of dolls then.
Is she even
Yeah, I
old
know how
enough
to
to
pick
rent
'em.
a doll?
Like that's ever stopped Lou before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lou likes fixer-uppers.
Get your gear. Get the stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get to your dealer.
Yeah, babe. We're going to a night market tonight. We're gonna get some good shit out there.
Yeah. She takes hold of the injector and jabs herself in the arm just to bring the nerves down, make sure that she's fresh before going out in public.
It's a good thing you're stocked up for a month or so.
Lou sees Sam out the door and she goes, "Hey, get up here and help with these packages."
Without hesitation, he jumps out of the van and starts climbing and and helps you take all of the briefcases that you have stored all of these things in, and starts helping you carry them towards the van from the cargo elevator you brought yourself down in, and tells you both to get in as soon as everything's loaded. Because you guys are headed to Kabuki. So, a night market has been popped up in this plaza. The temporary sort of stalls have kind of been rolled out and in a little bit of a set up and go kind of fashion. These things hopefully won't catch the eyes of the NCPD, or if they have, they're looking the other way for now. And so you find yourself with a little stall of your own to be able to sell the things that you are looking to get rid of. But there's also plenty here where you could purchase things for yourself as well. And Lou, you are a particularly good operator of these things. Okay. So is there anything that y'all are looking to purchase specifically? Or you're looking obviously to get rid of the things that are in your possession. As of right now, Trix is the only one who has staked claim to a weapon out of your cache, which was a assault rifle. That was of a market value of 500 eddies. The rest is about 4,000 worth of a shotgun and other pistols. It's a couple heavy handguns, a couple of regular pistols, just a variety of things. Were any of you looking to snag anything else out of this cache, or just try and sell it?
Could I, oh, anything for you, Slideye?
No. No, I gotta end up saving up.
Oh, and
Got other things to put in.
and also based on that cache, there is enough ammunition for you to have refilled any magazines that you would like to do. So if you need to stock up on ammunition, that's not going to cost anything towards the cache. The cache is still 4,000 euro dollars in weapons, along with some ammo, which you can stock up on for a variety of things. Tricks. That does mean that you get several magazines of ammunition to go with yours. So, if you need to stock up on any ammo, or if Requiem wanted to stock up on any ammo, you all have that available to you. But market value is $4,000, and you are looking to grease the wheels a little bit to sell it for more.
Most definitely.
So,
yeah, let's start with the selling of that stuff.
okay. So the selling of that stuff would be
Trading.
Would be a trading roll, yeah. So let's see, because we're going to call this degrees of success. A failure is that you will sell it at under market value. Critical failure would be way under market value.
Sure.
A success, if you get, so the success margin I'm going to call for is a, let's see, let me actually look at your skill here. So we're going to call this degrees of success.
Sure.
So trading is an 11 base, so I would say a 15 plus. You are going to be able to sell above market value, and I think the success, or at 15 is at market value. Critical success is above market value. And we're gonna call we're gonna call this a difficulty 15 success.
Okay, we're gonna throw 4 luck at this.
Oh, so you're gonna auto succeed?
Is that what that means?
Yes, because you have an 11 base. If you roll a 1, you crit fail, but you can't not succeed.
But I would still get a 15. But I would still get an at market value of 15.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let me throw 3 luck at it then.
Okay.
I'll be a little more conservative with my luck.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes. Ooh. So you do have the amount of success that would get you to above market value. So,
Wonderful.
based on what we've read about your roll ability for grease, or for haggle, I am gonna say that your haggle does allow you to. It normally would be you negotiate the paper person for a job up to 20%. I'm gonna say that a 20% above market value is also applicable to these items you're selling.
Awesome.
Because it does look like they may be fairly standard items, but they're of a good quality. So let's calculate that up here really quick.
They're not like damaged or anything, so
No,
they're normal qualities. So
very good condition.
I can get a plus 20%.
Yeah, no wonder
Great.
the Tinos wanted them. So a plus 20% at a 4,000 euro dollar cash would be $4,200.
Great.
Let me make sure I did that right, actually. No, because 20%. No, 20% would actually be an extra €1,000. So, because you're 4,000 divided by 4. So yeah, you would be able to sell them at 5,000 for a €4,000 cash.
So much.
Yep. And that is going to include any of the drugs you want to offload too.
Okay.
So, everything you wanted to
Yeah,
offload, you have offloaded for €5,000.
You said drugs. If there was drugs, I'm keeping drugs.
Okay.
I
yeah.
just want to be clear about that.
Okay.
So whatever drugs there were, I'm keeping.
Yeah, let's...
Have you ever known Lou not to bank drugs for use later?
Nah.
I didn't think so.
Let's... Because we didn't actually have a roll for that. So, in...
What's in that night market table?
Yeah. Let's look at that night market table, because I'd be able to randomize something really quick as to what it is you were able to pull.
The
from the
street
cache.
drugs is on 357.
357. Perfect.
Blue glass is every day. Smash is cheap. Synth coke is every day. Black lace and boost are costly.
Okay. I'm going to say that there is several doses of Smash, so 3 or 4 doses. There is 1 boost, 1 black lace, and 1 blue glass.
Okay, 3 or 4 smash?
Yes.
You want to decide?
Yeah, let me roll a d4.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you put it up to me, it's going to be 4.
Yep, it's 4.
4 it is.
4
Beautiful.
doses of Smash.
Lovely. We love to see it. Oh, we love to see it.
No synth coke. You're not bougie enough for that.
That's okay. We can do without it.
But that is what you have in your possession. If you wanted to offload any of it, obviously you can. If you wanted to keep it all, that's up to you too. Now
And we're keeping all the drugs. Thank you so much.
Yep. Now
I need the drugs.
You will recognize a couple of faces that have arrived at this night market too.
Okay.
Octavio is here, as he is doing fixer stuff, as well as your good friend Reagan is also buying and selling services. Maybe he doesn't look like he has any items to sell. Slideye, what you would also notice is Jaspreet is here, kind of just in the corner, kind of sitting and meditating.
You got this, Lou?
Yeah, you bet.
And it is going to take several hours for y'all to offload all of the weapons, so you do have to spend some time here, but that is, you have been successful in doing so. So several hours into the night is when you will finish with the last of your sales.
Thanks. I'm working out the equal transfer between me keeping the drugs, Trix keeping the gun, so that we all get an equal share.
Yeah.
Look for that shortly.
Cool beans, cool beans. So, Slideye.
Well, then I'm going to end up finding some time to end up speaking with Jaspreet. If only to end up keeping him up to date. There's nothing in particular. But it's good to see a familiar face, even in this. Though I guess I shouldn't be surprised running into him here. He is a monk, after all.
Yes. And he is just sort of sitting. He does have a couple people come up to him a couple times during the course of the night. And when you find yourself the ability to peel yourself away from Lou for a moment, he just sort of smiles at you as you're kind of catching him up on this and that you might want to tell him. You look well.
Just had some work done. Pulled out the dings. It's good to see you, Jaspreet.
It is good to see you as well. And I wasn't necessarily meaning your physical health. I was meaning more your demeanor.
Been trying to practice a mindful calm. Not put myself in too many compromising situations unintentionally. Though, she kind of looks over her shoulder. Who's currently getting old. Back to Jaspreet. There are some who would wish that was not the case.
Some who wish it was not the case that you were doing well.
They would sooner end up seeing me in a drunken stupor and currently buzzing along on that for amphetamine they happen to end up putting in the air hypo that night.
Ah.
Level.
Indulging some of the pleasures that the city has to offer.
May I sit?
Of course. My services are always available to you.
Well, given the fact that you've had such a line, I'm not surprised that many have come to end up knowing your mind, or at the very least decide to do what many will do to monks in this neck of the woods. But you go where you're needed. I understand.
There have been a number of those who would mock me for simply coming into this pop-up market of sorts and being a testament to whatever it is I'm trying to preach. And as you can see, I have very little to actually preach. I simply exist in a place. And for some, I am an easy target for mocking. For others, they see the monks, the bhikkhu, and are curious, but continue walking. Others have questions, and I am simply here to answer questions of those who would ask.
It was drawn to my attention that I'm struggling to socialize, to connect again.
That is possible. Are you finding this difficulty yourself, or is it being pointed out by others?
I don't feel an impulse to do so. I stay indoors in a home because I don't want to damage myself.
No, of course not.
I eat food for nutritional contents, not for a particular taste. I I was invited to a meal from a coworker, and everybody else was amazed. I took part, but it's very clear that they were experiencing something I wasn't. They project a camaraderie to me, and I can't reflect it back with sincerity, so I don't reflect anything back at all. I'm more worried on what would happen if I lost control or gave up control in any way. And so I remain disciplined in all the ways that I can, but I would be disingenuous if I didn't say that there were times where I wanted to reach out, but it's not the same. It's not right. I'm trying to protect them because that's my job. And they're either kind to the point of being naive or lying to themselves when I've explained to them that I am very much a threat to them as well if I don't keep myself in order. I tried to listen to their concerns, but
to keep yourself under such control, are you simply living a life that you have programmed for yourself as much as a machine, or are you seeking some kind of enlightenment through it, as the Buddha would instruct, as suffering is pain, life is suffering, and suffering comes from the desires of the flesh? Are you trying to reach a point where you have no desires of the flesh anymore? Some would be jealous, as some might say that you are enlightened already.
hardly.
I figured not. You're
Well,
human,
it's like I tried.
just as I'm human.
Well, not quite. You still have all your parts.
You have all of your parts too. I may not be the type for my own standing. I do not engage in cyberware, but that is my choice. Me and my brothers have taken a vow of celibacy in that regard, because what is it to explore the natural body? To feel the suffering of one's hunger, to feel the suffering of one's desires to have friends, to feel the suffering of loneliness with just me. But that isn't to say that you don't also have those desires. Your stomach still churns with hunger. Your heart still yearns for companionship. You still suffer, as do we all, with these things. But that suffering is pivotal to being human. If you are lonely, seek out someone. Myself, even. For friendship. For partnership. For relationship. And allow yourself to feel the suffering that comes from that. Remind yourself that you have a heart. You have a stomach. You have a body. You have a mind. And they have needs. Indulge yourself in a meal for the pure satisfaction of deliciousness. And be sad when it fades away a moment later. I can tell that you have been allowing yourself more of these things. And that is okay. I too occasionally stop by the stall and engage in shio ramen, my favorite, from time to time. Because the desires of one's mind and heart are key. That while it is the Buddhist way to seek enlightenment, to remove myself from the suffering of the world, I don't think I ever would want to do that fully. And thus may never reach enlightenment, and may continue to suffer as we reincarnate, only to do it all over again. But I think that's the point.
I was wondering. I equated myself to the parable of Humpty Dumpty, missing pieces and all, trying to put together and do the impossible.
To put the
And when you speak
tiny
of-
pieces back together again.
With many of them missing. On the other hand, now that you speak of reincarnation, I wonder if I go any further, will I find myself coming back in a new life as a toaster?
You would be a being. Whether it's as an animal or a human, that remains to be seen. But there is a lesson to be learned every time, and things to experience. I have faith that you have been, even in this current life. You have come back from the brink to try and rebuild yourself. You aren't missing pieces, Slideye. They're just hidden from your own sight. And maybe you're too scared of yourself. You're not scared of hurting them to so much as you're afraid of yourself and what you've been, what you've experienced, and what you may experience again if you are not careful. But there's a such thing as being too careful. Allow yourself the little things. having a meal with a companion is not going to end in either one of your deaths. At least I would hope not.
No. But I'm gonna have to continue getting chipped. They need a solo that can operate.
You already
And because
are.
because I was reluctant to get chipped, one of the edge runners I'm with, she almost died. Another lost her leg. And now we have one that's gone missing. When you're the solo of a crew, it's on you to make sure no one else gets hurt. And I failed in my duty to do that.
You are not a
I
failure.
fucked it up. Either way, I didn't do my job. So I gotta also keep it on the down low. I have to end up hiding the fact that I'm gonna be doing this from a Ripper dock I know. And that means I have to end up gaining contact with a Ripper dock that is less than reputable. The kind that brings out the worst. And I gotta do it before somebody else ends up dead that doesn't have it coming.
Such weight you put on yourself.
Well, she starts to stand up. It's why they pay me the big eddies.
Slideye.
Be well, Jeffrey. She stops.
I know that my words would mean very little in this circumstance. But getting chipped isn't going to solve that issue. It's not going to relieve you of your fear of yourself. That's what you fear. You're not afraid of any threat to you. You said it yourself. You feel it yourself that you are the threat to them. That fear. You're leaning on it like a crutch. You're defining yourself by it.
Always gotta hate a monk that's always right. Be well, Justbreed.
Be well.
Start moving away. Getting back to work. Took too much time off from helping Lou anyway.
Alright. After a bit of time, unless there's someone else that you all want to interact with in the night market, the occasional person that you recognize does come up and check out your wares, Lou, but doesn't really stop for long. And if they do, they pay you the eddies for a good piece and go about their business, as they have other means and things to purchase.
I mean, I'm curious.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot by doing this, but is there a city politico, neighborhood celebrity, or major city player that shows up
Mm.
at this event?
Let's see. Probably a well-known fixer by the name of Wakako.
Aha.
Coming around
That's
to
interesting.
come in more to solicit services at this point. She's not really coming by to you per se, but
Hmm.
she's speaking with maybe other edge runners who've arrived as well, other fixers to coordinate and things like that. She's kind of this older Asian woman, and you know that she's loosely associated with the Tiger Claws,
Hmm.
who also seem to be running security for this place at the moment.
Yeah, because of where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. We've talked about her before.
Yep.
I think that I'm already aware of who she is for sure.
Yep.
Um, hmm.
She almost seems to be avoiding, like almost avoiding you. Not maybe not on purpose, but maybe you don't have the
Mhm.
kind of rep that she's looking for. Like maybe you're the new face to the marketplace.
Yeah, at least this one anyway.
Yeah.
Could I attempt like a streetwise roll or something to like get some kind of an in on her?
Hmm.
Maybe like a rumor that I've heard, um any kind of like anything that would like I could use as an introduction.
Hmm.
Or is there another way I could get that information?
If you wanted
I'd
to
be willing
spend a
to
few
bribe
eddies,
someone
yeah.
or okay. Okay, who can I bribe for that information?
I'm just gonna, since you're in the night market,
Octavio is somebody I know.
yeah,
He would probably know.
yeah. Since you're in the night market, and you're kind of in her turf as you would know it. Um,
Hmm.
I'll call that a streetwise check would be appropriate here.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice roll. Um, so, some common knowledge that you would know about Wakako Okada is that she's Japanese born. She moved here quite some time ago. Um, Works as a fixer in Night City in the Westbrook district. Um, Primarily, though, like I said, she's loosely associated um, with the Tiger Claws, and rumor has it that she has had at least one husband, maybe more, that have served in the ranks of the Tiger Claws. Now, whether that's actually true or not, and what happened to them, well, that remains to be unknown. But she's a pretty well known fixer. She does have uh, a bit of a discerning eye for the kinds of mercs that she hires. But when she hires you for a job, it's for a job that does take a lot of skill to pull off. It's not just your everyday hustle. She works for some pretty big paying clients, and those clients then offer her eddies to then pay mercs, of course, much like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So working for her would be a step up, but she's also no rogue. She's not that famous.
Yeah, no, she'd be a step up though, and we want any avenue forward. We're not doing very well where we're at, and we want an audition basically. Okay. Is Slideye back over here, or is she still talking to the monk?
Yeah, she's wandered back during
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's probably about an hour, maybe two into your stay here. You've offloaded most of everything at this point.
Yeah. Slideye.
Hey, Lou.
Hey. I've got a crazy idea.
What do you got?
Okay. You see Wakako Okada over there, right?
Well, if it isn't the mistress of the Tiger Claws herself.
Okay, I got an idea on how to pull that big fish our way.
You sure we're ready for it?
Only one way to find out. We can't keep getting strung along by old diehard forever. Yeah. He's gonna leave us hanging out to dry, twisted in the wind if we let him.
Okay.
Okay, so I haven't been to the circus in a while, so you're gonna have to refresh me on the specifics. But is there any way we can do something impressive in front of her? I know she likes high quality mercs, and you, my dear Slideye, you are a high quality merc. Okay, say what you want about me. You are the tits ass. All right. How can we make you shine in front of her?
Coffee, real quick. Is there any way for me to assess? Because I know Wakako out of character, but and I probably heard of her in character, right? Fairly famous figure.
Yeah.
It's fairly well known that she's Tiger Claw and all that. But would I have any information, or more importantly, would Slideye have any information that might tip the scales in our favor? I'm trying my best not to pull too much. I think I already overstepped on that one, but
let's see what we can do here. I would say that would also be a streetwise check, but that's also what Lou just did. So, to get an in with Wakako and impress her in that regard, that's a very good question. I don't know that I have an answer for you on that one.
Yeah. Well, if you don't know, then I will just roll with I don't know.
What you could do is, if you wanted to make some kind of performance check, like some kind of social check, to try and grease the wheels, if you want to just kind of roll right up to her, or you want to start start, being the stall barker, or if you want to
You know
see
what?
if you can
I think
draw
we can-
attention.
You know what? Let's just play the game. Now I have for this session, just to double check, I recover my luck by the end of the day. Correct?
You recover luck at the beginning of every session. Which had you spent some last time?
I have not.
You have not. So you since you had been recovering for the last couple of weeks, you probably and you haven't spent any, you would be at full.
Then I would like to. I would like to attempt to end up doing this a very simple one.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Okay.
With the cold hard facts. Let us see here. Also, sorry, I'm trying to remind myself the details of my role because I actually get a
yeah, depending on if it's applicable, you could rearrange some of your combat awareness to be of use to you here, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I'll change the.
Because if you're trying to impress by telling her being convincing that you are the best merc that ever did walk into Westbrook, I would say that that's a good performance you could do.
Let me just double check here. Damage. That's while attacking. Precision. No, nothing from combat awareness. So I am going to do a straightforward persuasion, and I am maxing out my luck on this.
Okay. Which is how much?
6.
6. Dumping all 6 points.
Ouch.
Oh, it didn't pop up for me yet.
My toe. What? Okay, something's wrong here. I have level 6 in cool.
Okay.
Or level. Oh, yeah. I have 12. Okay, I'm not sure on how that works. I have 12 persuasion plus 6, right, and then a D10.
Yep, you crit
I'm looking
one.
at the roll.
Yep.
I don't see the ones though. I'm actually looking for the ones, and I don't see any.
Yeah, so
hover over the 13 and you can see it.
The 13 is where you rolled the 1, and so you then roll a second D10, and that's the subtraction amount.
I'm sorry, Lou. Why'd I try? Why?
So you walked over to say something, right? It's okay, I can save this.
All right. I'm in your hands.
Give us the scene. Give us the scene, and I'll fix it.
And your plus 6 luck would be a 14 on a crit fail.
Yeah.
So
you're eloquent, but it doesn't work.
You're eloquent, but it does. Yeah, it doesn't work. So Lou, how do you plan on rolling in and assisting here? Because Wakako doesn't seem convinced.
She pulls a gun
and you
on
hear
Slideye.
Gasps throughout the market.
She's at a flank, so the shot's not gonna go towards anyone else.
Okay. You would be, I would say, within short range of the weapon usefulness. So.
Yeah.
And Wakako is gasping
She says,
too. She's like, not sure what you're doing.
She, with one hand, grips and rips open a smash, burying her fangs into it and draining the foamy liquid into her mouth. She says, "Dodge this," and fires at Slideye.
Okay. So, I need you to make a this is with your pistol, so it's going to be a ranged weapon for pistols. Slideye, you have 8 or higher on your reflexes. You do have the option to dodge.
Yep. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. That is an athletics check, correct?
I believe it's a dodge. It's in body, I think. You have a
Body, dance, athletics. Where is it? Fighting, I think it is.
Or
Brawling.
fighting, yeah.
Evasion, there we go. Evasion.
Yeah, evasion. Well, Lou, you crit failed on actually being able to successfully pull the trigger.
Uh-oh.
At least in Slideye's direction.
Oh dear.
So you pull the gun, you shoot, but you've missed. And you've crit failed.
So what did I shoot?
Oh God, no, Coffee, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what you're thinking.
There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's
Give me a high-low for it, for the love of God.
There's 7 other people here that you are aware of. No, 8 because Wakako. There's other pedestrians as well as stall runners. So higher
Reagan.
low. Higher low. You call it, you just hit the wall. You don't call it, you hit someone.
Okay.
So high or low.
Oh, Christ on a cracker. Oh, Christ. Okay, high.
Thankfully, it just ricochets off of the wall of this market. Which, to be fair, your heavy handgun would normally ricochet into something else, but it gets lodged into the wall. And you're staring down the barrel of a heavy pistol yourself now. Several, actually. As a number of the security measures that have been in place as Tiger Claw members, as well as Wakako herself, have all drawn their weapons on you.
You know, I do the finger through the thing and hang it off of my hand.
Are you an idiot? You hear her, Wakako say.
Konnichiwa, babe.
If this was a measure to try and impress me, you have done nothing but ruined your reputation, Lou.
Hey, can't ruin what you don't know. And I spin the gun and put it back in its holster.
Slideye, she looks at you with a very disapproving glance.
Apologies. Not my usual approach. Kind of looks at the other tiger claws. Now, I'm gonna assume and please correct me if I'm wrong here, Coffee,
Hmm.
that when I'm looking at these tiger claws, I'm probably not looking at the average tiger claw. I'm looking at what is effectively Wakako's personal guard. Would that be a fair assessment of the situation?
Some as well as, the average ganger. Kind of a mix. There's a couple that are distinctly solos. As they were the ones to draw weapons first out of everyone here.
Miss Akato-chan. She takes a very timid step forward.
Do not move.
My apologies if mea culpa if my and my associate's little parlor trick didn't go according to plan. You see, I was recently in an accident, and
a parlor
I took
trick
a header.
You would have fired blank rounds, not live rounds.
But it's much more impressive if they're live rounds, aren't they? And if I'd only shot true indeed, you would have seen how impressive our dear Slideye was.
You're digging yourself into a deeper hole, child. I suggest that you shut up and that you go about your business and never show your face in one of my night markets again. Am I clear? If I want your services, I will call you. But you have done very little to impress me except in the negative today.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. Oh, nice talking to you. Thanks for your time.
And
okay, yeah,
she starts to walk away. Well, you kind of mucked that up. Lou fucking Derek diced it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. We both did, to be fair.
I'm so glad we're back to the status quo. Starting to feel too good about my rolls earlier.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Oof.
So
okay, so I think I can't do any shopping on the way out.
Yeah, and I would even say that you have a -1 rep to your rep with Tiger Claws at this moment.
All right,
Marking that down on the sheet.
Yeah,
just the two of you. Yep.
Yep.
Got it.
Got it. Reputation. There we go.
Yep, you're known by the Tiger Claws for a little stunt that you pulled at a Tiger Claw night market.
Cool.
So, but you are able to finish offloading all of the things that you were looking to sell today without the option to purchase anything because you have been asked to leave. And you'll have to wait for the next one, I guess.
I call Trix on the way out.
Who is still currently with Requiem at the moment.
Sounds like a good scene transition as I go and bury my head in the sand. Slideye just looking at Lulu like...
Really?
The fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Worse yet, it's like, I am so glad that you have such faith in me that you're willing to pull a gun on me and pull the trigger an hour after you give me a sympathetic hug. Thank you for that. I'm getting mixed signals here, Laloo.
Oh man.
So Trix, you just got out of a meeting with an executive.
Yes. Yes, I did.
You're with Requiem, and what do you intend to do?
Probably head back to his clinic for a little bit
Okay.
until we know whether or not he's going to get that information tonight, or if it's going to be the next day.
You have been informed that you will receive some information tonight,
Okay.
so that you have something.
So then just a waiting game.
Yep. Which, when you do receive the information, it is through Requiem, since Calhoun doesn't really have your details.
Yeah.
So, Requiem, you would know the information as well, which the itinerary for said person was to make several rounds to various shops that are run by this pharmaceutical company, or at least supply meds to each of them. There's a few pharmacies to check in and deliver orders to, and he was going to do that personally. Had a lot of office time to put in as an executive. He has very little time to himself, and that the visits to those pharmacies or manufacturers or warehouses was going to be in his own personal AV.
So we have the little ports that we can do the little data shards and
Oh yeah,
all that, right?
yeah.
Okay. I'd probably get one of the blanks and slap it in and download the information and hand it to Trix.
In which case she'll sort through whatever's there, put anything relevant onto the other shard, and then do I have his contact information off this, or do I have to send anything back through Requiem to him?
Requiem, do you share Calhoun's details with Trix?
No.
Okay.
Then through Requiem.
She will put the English, please. She'll put the information about Die Hard onto the first shard and give it back to Requiem to pass on.
Okay. How much
And I'll
about
go
Die
ahead
Hard are you sharing?
Anything she knows about him.
Anything and
Anything
everything?
that she's... Yep.
Is there anything
Anything
and
that
everything that you're pointing out to me as the storyteller in specific?
His habit of digging up information on people he works with. Because he knew information about select members of the group that the group themselves did not know about. Or hadn't even been hinted at yet.
He's well informed. That much you know.
Yep.
Maybe it's informants like yourselves that he hires on the regular.
Yep.
And when I get that, I'm also going to upload the specs of all the cyberware that I could see.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did a medtech roll for that last time, did we?
I think so.
Do you remember what that was? Was it... I don't recall. Going back through the rolls.
I think it was that 18 human perception roll that he had.
Or was that him trying to determine that whether someone was lying in the room?
I do not remember for sure.
There should be a cyber tech roll for it, right?
Yeah, it would be Cybertech. So go ahead and roll it for me again.
All right, let's see what I can do.
Fingers crossed.
Mm.
'Cause I don't remember why, but I knew all of the shit. I know we did something for that.
Yeah, you'd
You
have...
know what? There wasn't a roll for it. You just gave it to him. I
Oh.
remember now.
Possi-
You just read it off. I remember that. It was really sweet of you.
Yeah, I don't quite remember, but I know that that Requiem being a Ripper Dog would know he's heavily implanted, but what he's implanted with, that's going to be another roll. That's going to be the Cybertech roll. Let's see if you have enough info as to what he's chipped with.
I'm looking for Cybertech.
It would be under Technique, I think.
Yep, technique.
Okay. All right. And you can commit, like, I've heard people committing stuff to it.
Yep, your luck points.
Yep.
So you have a maximum number of luck points, and you restore those when I say that you can, which is at the start of every session. Normally I do it like a D4 or something like that, depending on how heavily luck taxed you are. But you can spend all of your points at once if you would like, or you could spend a point at a time. It's your choice.
Can I do 2?
You can do 2 points. Yep.
Alright, so I will spend 2 luck points on this.
Okay. So you make your roll, and then we just add 2 to that result. Okay. So an 18 plus 2 would be 20. Ooh. What did I give him? Let me actually look at his sheet. I don't have his full stats on the roll 20 real quick, but I do know that I do have him. Here. You do, like, it was pretty easy to spot that his eyes are cybernetic. Based on some of the cyberware that was exposed in his clothes, you do know that he has some additional, maybe grafted muscles. Because he's a pretty big guy, and he's no slouch either. As far as other gear that he might have been shipped with, it might have been underneath clothing. You didn't get a good look at it.
Okay. I'll show what I saw and like what I suspect.
Based on how bulky he is, he's definitely got some cyberware modifications that combatants of a particular caliber in Arasaka, like we're talking like high level combatants, are chipped with based on his sheer size.
Yeah.
You may even suspect that he has had some full body modifications. But what those modifications are, you didn't get a good look at because it's under clothing.
Yeah. I'll put what I suspect and what, at least for capabilities and how dangerous he is.
Oh yeah.
And I will send it with the message of, whatever this is worth, send the payments through the usual channels.
Okay. Yeah, you would know just by looking at him that he would slice through flesh with that katana like butter.
Yeah.
And Calhoun would thank you and would let's see. In fact, I'll make the payment kind of based off of that cybertech roll where he, since you rolled an 18 plus 2, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a €2,000 check in your pocket. Now, the money that you received from him from implants and stuff like that before, that isn't on your sheet. That is maintenance for your shop.
Yeah, I didn't even, like...
Yeah.
That keeps the shop open for another month.
Yeah, that...
At the prices that I charge.
Yeah, that doesn't go to your pocket at all. Yeah.
No, if I had 50,000 credits, or eddies worth of shit, I would be able to go take that guy on one-on-one right now.
Yeah.
Nope. I will also note that Trix did put her own contact information on what she...
On that chart. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so he's got your details. Good to know. So, Requiem, are you sharing any of that pocket change with Trix?
I'm going to just look over at Trix. What percentage do you want for this?
That's up to you. I mean, he is your contact after all.
I'm used to just getting a cut from whatever the leader goes. I'm not the leader of this. I don't know cuts.
Well, we try to split it evenly, as much as possible, at least Blue does. So, we can just go 50-50.
Alright. Just so you know, that Arasaka asshole, I won him one day.
We'll have to see what happens.
When I thought we were going for a job, I didn't think we were going to go work for the guy that's probably the reason that Orvin's never coming back.
To be fair, none of us knew Orvin went to him. We had no idea what happened to him. At most, he pays well, at least. So we can stick with that for now until we can figure otherwise.
Building up trust. That's a good enough reason to keep my cool. And you're like, when he's sitting there talking to you, he's being himself. The axe completely dropped.
I honestly didn't expect this to go this smoothly. Should we tell the other two? We kind of have to if we've got 2 days to plan this out and actually do it.
I would say tell them enough.
Contact of a contact? That'd be the best way to do it.
That depends on how much you trust them, because I'm trusting you a hell of a lot more than I usually do with people I've just met.
I will keep his name away from you as much as possible. If only for my own reasons.
And you're just going to see my eyes go blue, and 1,000 credits is going to hit your bank account.
Much appreciated. Rent is coming up after all.
Yes.
Wow. Now we get the plan. I assume this is about the point where Lou's call's coming in.
Mm.
I was getting ready to call you.
Hey. You get those credits?
Yeah. Quite a haul.
Yeah, the market was a bust after all. I might not be welcome over here anymore, but that's a different conversation.
What did you do?
Look, me and Slideye tried to put on a little show and it didn't turn out so well.
And I assume it was your idea, by the sound of it.
Calling it an idea is generous at best. It's more
Okay.
of an impulse. Yeah.
You and your poor impulse control.
Oh, you're talking to Lou.
Four of us need to meet up someplace outside the usual
Okay.
places.
Well, I take it whatever tall, green, and handsome. Everything went well on that front.
Better than expected.
Okay, fantastic. We can't meet at the clinic. We can't meet at Slideye's. You want to meet at the dump?
Yeah, the dump sounds like a better idea.
Okay. Yeah, we've got Sam with us. We can drive over there. We'll meet you in a few.
All right, meet you there.
All right,
She's gonna click off. All right, come on. We got a meeting to get to.
Sounds like something fun happened.
Yes, fun. As far as Lou's poor impulse control, I assume that's the better term for it. It's fun. I am honestly concerned about what this child has done this time.
Just remember, keep laughing. It makes everything better. And he'll get that smile back on his face and he'll start walking out the door.
You don't know Lou that well, and she's following after him.
Mm.
You want to ride or you want to take your own car?
Well, just in case the other two have to come with, I'll follow you.
Alright, she'll send him location information.
Night City Dump. Where everything goes to get trashed. You all pull up together right around the same time as each other, kind of taking one of the roads that kind of leads into the dump as kind of a lead up. There's a lot of trash. It smells awful. It's rank as shit, and well, I suppose that's the point. That's a city dump for you.
Requiem will just get out and take a big sniff and this smell reminds me of home.
I was gonna say, can we smash cut to Slideye telling the story of what happened at the night market?
We can. Exactly.
So
So you're saying this happened in front of Wakako? Wakako, this area's biggest fixer.
at point blank range.
Oh my god, please tell me you recorded it.
fair, none
We
of you
gotta
have
find something.
none of you have video recording chips in your slots. So
Oh, such a wasted opportunity.
You know what? I'm regretting the fact I asked.
Look, you deal with the cards you're dealt, and we weren't dealing with a lot, frankly.
There's so much I could
Strix,
say to that, and I am not.
Trix, remember the medicine that this doctor prescribed before we left? And he'll just smile.
Yeah, I. Well, we have good news. Getting that information is going to be a lot easier than we thought on Calhoun. And
Do tell.
she's holding up the shard. Already got.
Let it never be
Contact.
said that I'm not useful.
Contact of a contact of a contact of this guy. You know how it goes.
No, I do not know how it goes. Why
Oh,
don't you
you'll
tell
learn.
me?
I'm not just a pretty face.
Basically, somebody. Requiem knows someone who put us in contact with someone who knew the routes, who knew the routine, who was able to get us the files we needed without me having to jack in to his systems and putting up with whatever defenses he's got.
Well, I feel like that's probably a good start, but we should probably, zero the target and make sure that these are all right? Did you look
I
over the data yourself?
went through every bit of it. And I do
Okay.
plan on at least taking a look at his routes over the next couple of days anyway, just to double check. Cover our bases and whatnot.
No, yeah.
More information is always better.
Starting tomorrow. Okay, so can you get that information to all four of us? We'll work 2-man shifts monitoring him for the next 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Make sure he sticks to the routine. And then, day 2, we'll change the roles up if we have to.
And if I need to, I know a way I can take a little bit of damage for my attempt at hacking in.
Why would you have to do that?
Corpo attack. They're going to be highly defended. Would be a little bit suspicious if I walked into the next meeting with Die Hard with nothing.
Lou looks at Slideye to get her read on this situation.
Check if the info's good. Gotta see if Rec there is on the level. I don't mean to look a gift horse in the mouth, but when things go too easy, I get more nervous. And we just
Dave?
got handed the job on a silver platter.
Yeah, it's safe. So, which of you beautiful ladies wants to spend the night with me watching some rich asshole? Not you, you're too young.
Seems we're already paired off.
Don't
Now
care which
let's
way.
mix these partners up. Slideye. Why don't you go with the green guy, and I'll take Trix.
Lou and I can go over the information pretty simply.
Yeah, we'll parcel it out to you. You guys go home, get a couple hours wink, and we'll get you the information. You guys go out on first watch here in 4 hours, something like that. We'll take the second shift. Does that work for everybody?
Works for me.
New guy?
Sure.
Spending the night with tall, beautiful, and brooding. I'll bring the coffee and scop dogs. And
I
I'll
was
just
hoping
smile.
you'd say that. Just don't try to get fresh with her.
Oh no, please do.
On the first date.
Oh no, I'm a gentleman.
Which I think is also a great place for us to take a quick break. So, be right back, everybody, with more Night City Stargazers. Welcome back, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Episode 14. After sharing the information with everyone in the group, Trix and Requiem have established a plan based on the information that they've collected about Calhoun's movements. They intend to back up said information with stalking him a little bit while on those routes, and then seeing about forwarding the information to Die Hard at the end of it. Shift rotation will be taking place between the four of them so that they can keep an eye, but also get some breaks and things like that in between. Not like a day in a corpo's life. 80-hour work weeks, very little time off, and, well, corporate burnout is something that every executive of Night City corporations has to live with. Some would even say that some of these corporations are the best to work for, as they offer 5 days a year in sick leave. How about that? But that's not what our four individuals are doing at the moment. In fact, the first shift is being taken by Slideye and Requiem. And so far as you can tell. In trailing Calhoun on the routes that he provided for you for today, seems to be adhering to that schedule. So, I'm sure you're planning on going about this being undetected, so I need both of you to roll a stealth check.
Sorry about that. Had a phone call. What do you need from me?
Stealth check, my friend.
Stealth check? Okay.
Yes, because you're planning on being undetected, even though the executive that you are following knows that you have his data. Members of his security may not. Okay. Slideye, stealth check.
Trying to find it.
I believe it's
Under
in
body.
Body, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh, you stealthy bitch.
Oh, there's the good roll.
You're fairly certain that you can remain undetected by his security. And again, he's making these rounds in his personal AV at the moment, making stops at warehouses and pharmacies and other such things to fulfill orders, to place orders, to do whatever it is an executive would do in this situation. Not that you have any real experience being a corporate executive, but he's maintaining the route that he had planned with his itinerary that he'd forwarded you, so... Not that Slideye knows that it was forwarded to you. But it does give you a chance that while you are on shift, doing your stalking of this man, to get to know each other a little bit better, if that is something you would like to do.
Of course. Is this really all they do? I think you're muted.
All who do.
Corpos.
What do you mean?
All he's done is ride around and point at things.
If that's what you see.
I get there has to be a hierarchy, but why does he make so much money just to point at things when everybody out there that has to move all that gets paid so little?
I can see why Loup likes you.
I've been told I grow on people. And he'll reach over and hand coffee.
She takes it and just puts it on the dash. Now it's a matter of knowing what you're pointing at, knowing how to organize things. To you, you see a hand gesture. What he sees is, with a single gesture, a entire project that ends up costing multi-millions, if not billions, suddenly gets flushed. What he probably also sees is, how's it going to affect his performance awards? How is this going to end up putting a chink in security? Small hole in the armor. He's going to end up gesturing to end up being clear to end up making sure that everything's moving in lockstep. Corporation's a well-oiled machine. Needs to end up making sure that everything operates just so. Time's money, and so wasted time is wasted money. Once one thing backs up, then the next thing backs up, and down the chain it goes. Congratulations, you now end up having a couple $1 million kerfuffle because somebody couldn't end up figuring out the blatantly obvious.
I guess I can understand. Little problems tend to stack up at clinics.
Yeah. Besides, in order to end up fighting anything, you first have to understand it. You have to understand it for the perfect machine that it is. Everybody hates it for what it does. And even most corpos don't understand on how it works.
I guess if I look at it the same way I look at a body, smallest things can throw the whole system out of whack and destroy it. One little bubble of air can bring down an entire thing.
Yeah. Only difference is that this is more akin to a virus. Virus is perfectly engineered to do exactly what it does, and if left on its own devices, it will propagate. That's inherently what it is. This, a whole city built on vice, a whole city built on corporations coming together to build something large and separate from the rest of the world. That's Night City. This entire, us as a species are Icarus flying too close to the sun with no degree of hubris, or no degree of humility. Just flying on wax and hubris.
Nice to know that you're not just a pretty face.
Yeah, well, face is borrowed.
Wow.
You seem
do you think?
disappointed. Oh, go ahead.
No. Just more curious, but just from the little time I've been around you, I doubt you want to play 20 questions right now.
Mine's on the job.
Exactly. Hence why I was shutting up. There's always the weekend. And he'll just smile and be watching, waiting to pull out and keep following.
So what made you decide to take up the life of a scav?
And you're going to see his face fall, and he's going to close his eyes. And he's going to look at you, and there's going to be a seriousness that you probably have never seen in him before. Don't ever compare me to them.
Why not?
If you do,
You'll what?
I'll never work with you again.
Glad to know I have an easy out.
Scavs are the worst bottom feeders of this society.
Scav, short for scavenger. You sell reused parts of taken off people who, quote unquote, don't need them anymore. After all, the dead ain't gonna complain, but they belong to the body parts belong technically to the person they were attached to. They're much akin to a pocket watch or maybe a car. Some of them go for a pretty penny. Be nice to be able to sell them off to end up getting funeral expenses, but instead they go to you. You do the thing that you think helps the most people by making sure that they end up those little add-ons end up going into people who you say need them. Second-hand parts for second-hand people.
Not the only thing scavs do.
Maybe, but at the core, that's what they are. Scavengers. Just
Scavs
because you
also
want
take people and take things and kill them just for their parts.
And so leaving others broken, stealing from them, getting by with next to nothing, having to grieve, and not even being able to sell off the parts to end up giving to somebody they cared about a half-decent burial is so much more nobler. No judgment, it's all the same to me.
You don't know how wrong you are.
Keep telling yourself that. Doesn't answer my question. Why? And please don't tell me it's because you're trying to make things a little bit better. Not how Night City works, and you drown in it if you try and fight against the curve, so...
Why
What is
would I
it
have
really?
to tell you all that if you know everything already? You've got me all figured out. It's easy, just take one look at me. And the smile's back.
She keeps her eyes on the target. No, not all of it. Besides, if this job goes south and I bite it, you get all the parts off of me anyway. Should be a nice a couple thou at least. I'm just slowly filling up with choice cuts. You'd be an idiot to end up turning a blind eye to that fact.
Like I said, it's easy when you have everything figured out.
Can't afford to be stupid in Night City.
That is true. I would also temper that with be careful what you presume.
Until proven otherwise, somebody draws a pistol on you. You don't end up waiting a few minutes just to end up being sure. Are they absolutely going to pull that trigger? No. You draw quick. You blow them away.
If I did that, you wouldn't be sitting in this car right now.
I suppose this is where I'm supposed to get out, storm off. But I'm on the job right now.
I was about to say, not if you want to get paid.
What makes you think I'm here for the pay?
That's kind of what a job is. You do things for money so that you can live. That's the base definition.
She just stays there, watching the target, remaining silent, hoping to get a glimpse at something worthwhile.
Are you looking for anything worthwhile?
Motions, habits, implants, guards, motions, key cards.
Okay. There's plenty of that to observe as far as like the obvious things, like number of bodyguards, what his like license plate number is on his AV, all of those sort of things. The implants he might be sporting, that would be a cybertech role. And do you have optics that would allow you optical zoom, or no?
No.
Okay, so maintaining your distance would be a higher difficulty.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking to see if I can get a glance. Perception?
Perception
Or
to see
no,
if you
you
can
said-
spot them, or cybertech if you want to find out what they are. Because you would be fairly certain that he's chipped. He's an exec.
Yeah,
What he's chipped with, that's the different story.
fair. Let's see here. Tech.
If Requiem would like, he can offer you an assistance, which I'm just going to have you roll twice, take the higher. So advantage like in D&D.
Okay.
Probably not.
You're not assisting? You're not figuring out what he's chipped with?
Nope. I already know what he's chipped with.
Oh. Look at you. Smarty pants.
God, I'm trying to figure out what the.
You might not have cybertech. Let me actually look.
No, cybertech is one of the things that I got when I picked my class on my sheet.
Oh, it's a class specific. Okay. If it's class specific, then yeah, you wouldn't be able to determine what he's chipped with, but you can make a perception check to see if.
I've got cybertech.
Do you? Oh, is that under? Oh, it's under technique. Yeah.
A technique. Okay.
Yeah.
Cyber.
No, I'm sorry. It was medical tech that I didn't.
Yeah,
have.
med tech is you. Yeah.
Sorry.
10 wasn't too bad. Not the worst, but probably only catching the obvious. But It's something.
Okay. So, well, it hasn't popped for me. It's taken a minute. But you said it's a 10 on your roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You watch. You maybe even spend a few moments, getting out of the car and spending some time in a store with, kind of with a bit of cover that you've donned for yourself. Something of a hat and hoodie variety. You can tell that you can see that there are cyberware marks that you much like on your face, that indicate that some work has been done. He's wearing a very nice suit, so a lot of what would be blatantly obvious would be underneath. Let's see, what are his stats? I didn't actually put it in that. Let me check the app, because maybe there's some things that you can assume based off of what he looks like. He may have had some cyberware installed that that could potentially increase knowledge capacity. Maybe some storage or some other kind of cyberware like that. He doesn't look nearly as built as big as Die Hard, but that could be hiding the fact that he's very when he makes gestures and when he signals things with his hands or something to that effect. He's very smooth and suave and dexterous about it. And his reaction time's pretty on point, too. So, that's kind of what you get by just looking at him. And so maybe there's some cyberware there that could be enhancing, various things such as his reaction time, such as maybe his knowledge. Maybe he's got a chip slotted in one of his neural ports, that could be, doing some kind of function, or maybe it's a storage chip. You're not quite sure just by looking at him, but his eyes definitely have gone, the standard blue, like he's on a holo call with individuals, but he's never speaking aloud when he's on these calls. So you think that maybe all the conversations are taking place inside, mentally, which can happen with a holophone. Maybe you get a... And I think that's about the idea that you would get, but just by looking at him. He's well dressed, though. He's definitely very smooth with his words. He definitely looks the part of an executive, and so commands a lot of respect when you see him interacting with other individuals as well. And that's what you observe about him.
Quicker, more agile, Probably gonna be a little bit trickier to take him down with guns. Memory slot might be data recording. Have to keep that in mind. What else? Okay. Guess that'll do. I keep taking notes. Everything that I can end up pulling in that might be relevant. For the most part, I just keep staring. That cold stare, just observing the target. That look like I want to eat him alive.
But never does he suspect in any of the time that you're walking with him that you're tracking him in any way. Requiem, is there anything that you would like to do as part of this? Or are you keeping fairly hands off?
I'm just watching, checking against the data, making it look like I'm doing my job.
Okay. Now, looking like you're doing your job or doing your job, there are very different things.
I'm not doing anything extra. I'm checking against what we have.
Okay, so you're just checking to make sure that he's following the itinerary, like he said he would. Okay, which he does. That's pretty obvious. During the.
I suppose. Do I have to make a roll for just watching him do things?
No, if he's doing things according to the itinerary that he gave you, then there's no need to roll for that. You're just confirming that data.
Okay.
Where Slideye is actually taking notes on: is he chipped? Is he worthy of, being an executive? Certainly seems to be, because he can command respect and talk the talk and grease the wheels and everything else that seems to be important to his job. So she's taking some extra mental notes where you're just watching and making sure that he sticks to the plan. So, well, that would do it for Slideye and Requiem shift. How much of that do you share with the rest of the group, Slideye? You read it.
All of it.
All of it. Okay, so Loup, Trix.
Along with notes.
You're aware of Slideye's notes. They take a break, and you guys take over.
Do we all meet up?
Yeah, for the shift change.
Yep.
Okay.
What?
We all meet up. I'm going to do something.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to ask, what do Requiem's notes look like?
I was just verifying his schedule and doing the driving.
Fair enough.
Not picking on you.
Oh, no.
Just asking.
That's essentially what he says to you. So.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't saying that in character. I was just.
He basically has taken.
So,
I wasn't either. I wasn't either.
So when we all meet up, Requiem's just going to get out, and then after she makes Slideye makes her report, Requiem's just going to kind of like sit up on the trunk of his car. So, as much as I like working with you beautiful ladies, I want to get one thing out of the way. When one thing happens once, it's good, but if it happens twice, it becomes a pattern. Do you all consider me a common scav?
Wouldn't use the term common.
Have you ladies been harassing our new friend? What have I told you about workplace harassment? Girls, I thought I raised you better than this. Listen, we're going to have a sensitivity training about this. And
Is this something I can go to HR for?
You're looking at HR apparently.
I'm HR, yeah, apparently. Yeah, there's going to be a mandatory sensitivity training about this, Requiem. Uh, uh, Leave it to me. I'll get these girls straightened out for you.
And he's just kind of sitting there smiling, and he's going to let the smile fade. No, seriously, what do you think of me?
You're not a scav. I'll give you that. Having dug into your world a little bit.
If you guys did, this would have been my last job with you. I would never refuse you from my clinic. There are two things that I don't like being compared to. Both are the bottom feeders that give what I do a very bad name.
Well, look, speaking from experience, if you were scav or if you were creep, I would have put a bullet in your head by now anyway.
I would have beaten you
Oh.
to it, Loup.
We must like you. The ribbing, consider it a friendly gesture.
Oh no. And he's going to kind of start getting the smile back. I don't mind the ribbing. That's fine.
Mea culpa, Requiem. And thanks for the info on the team. Or for the team on the op. If this pans out the way that it should, I'm gonna make sure that you get a special portion of it.
Whatever you think is fair.
Well, it's looking
And
like
let
we
it not
couldn't
be
have done
known
this
that I
without
do not
you.
pull my weight.
It's looking like we couldn't have done this without you, and we've had a run of bad luck, so
Definitely would have had it.
it'd be nice for things to go our way for once.
Oh, it's nice
This
to
might
come
be
out on the
our,
winning side.
You just might be our four-leaf clover.
I
He's
got the
certainly
green.
enough.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
And he'll go and lean into his car and hands you guys the half-eaten bags of snacks that he brought. Here, supplies.
Lou takes them, obviously. She says, "Oh, fantastic."
Well, have a good night. You need a lift home, beautiful?
Doesn't much matter what I think. I'm here to do the job.
I'm going to look over at Trix. Can you translate that into a yes or a no?
I think it's a yes. She's hard to understand sometimes.
She'll take the ride, I think. Slideye, the nice man's gonna give you a lift home now, okay, honey? Just get back in the car. Oh, God.
Reckon will walk around and open the door for her.
She stops as she's walking past Lulu, just looks at Lulu. I appreciate
Can I
it.
help you?
And while there's a bunch of frayed nerves going about, I understand the need to poke fun at my general demeanor. Honestly, I understand it. But it's probably best not to talk to me like I'm autistic when you're the one who drew a weapon point blank in front of Wakako to make a point. I'm gonna get in the car with the nice green-haired man. The short bus is parked right around the corner.
Listen, try not to scare him away, please. We need this.
I'm the consummate profession. And she starts walking into the car. Yeah, that's being held open by the green-haired strange man.
Although he is
fear
very
just
pretty.
makes hell. Fear just makes everything more exciting. You can get scary, dear.
I'm glad I managed to get that much of a laugh out of you, Amber.
The worst. I hate you.
Ladies, have fun. This man likes to drive around and point at things.
Yeah, he's a corpo. What are you expecting to do?
I don't know. I still don't understand it. And he's just going to kind of shake his head and go and get into the driver's seat. And he will, unless Slideye says anything, he will drive her back to her house.
Okay. Leaving Lou and Trix to follow Calhoun.
Lou sits backwards on the motorcycle so that she can dig into the snacks.
Which...
Really not. Go on.
No, I was... go ahead. I was just going to comment that you see more of the same for the rest of the day.
Fair.
Unless
Do a little
there's-
bit of digging.
What is that little bit of digging that you're going to do?
Oh, no, just continuing the comment from earlier. Brain cells are not firing today.
Mine either.
Oh boy. It's gonna be so much fun.
Okay, well, Lou's gonna rip a smash. First of all,
She is.
gotta get that caffeine, that combo caffeine alcohol
Mm-hmm.
that makes her cool and smart. Do drugs, kids.
Right.
It's good for you. Makes you better at stuff. That's the
while she's
lesson
doing
here.
that, while she's doing that, Trix go over what she had found out about Requiem with her, minus the Calhoun stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, there's a donor.
Yeah, donors that aren't on the book. The state of his clinic, which is actually relatively clean compared to, what we consider for scavs.
He's not a scav, probably.
The containers at his place where he's had the dead incinerated and little memorials for them.
Yep. Seems like a sentimental guy.
Not as bad as Orvin was, but his heart is on his sleeve. Again. What is it with us in medtechs like that?
I mean, they were two peas in a pod, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
We
fine.
can talk more. I want to talk more. No, let's talk more. She says, "We never talk more. We don't talk a lot. We're always very Spartan with our conversation. Um, you two were gone a long time. A lot longer than, you know, just getting some information.
Yeah,
What all happened while you guys were together?
he was just getting in contact with his contacts. We had to wait a little bit for them to come in and then come through on their end of the bargain. Hell, bartering that it took a little while in itself.
I'm surprised you didn't call me for that. Must have cost you something.
Information, really? Info
What'd you have
for
to
info.
tell them?
Rather not tell you. That way, if this blows up in our face, it's just gonna come back on me.
Yeah, I don't think so, Trix. Okay, so I want to do a human perception to see how hard she's sweating right now.
Okay.
Just based on what she said.
Okay. Human perception versus Trix's persuasion.
Ooh, persuasion.
Oh.
Fun.
Oh.
Oh!
Lou!
Oh, so sad.
That's just dirty. The dice done did you dirty.
That's brutal. That's brutal, dog. That's so awful. I mean, so, she must, have she's still looking down the binoculars. And, she barely takes a glance away. And maybe Trix can, change her face before Lou looks.
Trix
or else
isn't
she's
sweating.
really good at lying to Lou by now.
Yeah. She ain't sweating. That much is for sure.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Information about none of us, right?
Oh, naturally, none of us. I wouldn't have taken the deal if it was about the group.
Extremely suspicious.
But they came through on their end. And so far, it looks like their information was correct.
Oh, fine enough.
The only
I'll
reason
trust
why
you
you
to handle
weren't
it.
the only reason why you weren't informed to begin was because we weren't sure on how it was going to go down. No need in bringing in the whole entire group and Die Hard not getting anything at all.
I'm your fixer, not your boss.
That's true.
I can only deal with what you tell me about. So, if you want me to deal with it, you'll let me know.
Exactly.
Till then, I'll trust you to handle it.
I'll be sending Slideye the same information I just told you about him. But he's pretty chill.
He does seem pretty chill, to a fault.
Still not on Orvin's level. Which I suppose he could be grateful for.
I mean, nobody's a human punching bag like Orvin was. God.
He was a special case.
Absolutely. I'll give Requiem that. At least he knows how to fight back.
Well, Orvin did too, to an extent, but I think Requiem's just a little bit wittier.
Yeah, he's got a touchy side, though. You guys gotta take it easy with him.
To be fair, I only did the scab thing upon first talking to him when I was investigating him. And once I found out more, I dropped the matter.
Yeah, but you gotta know how Slideye is gonna act. She,
Yeah, that's on me for not forwarding them to you guys sooner.
she was gonna call him that no matter what you said.
Probably. Because without the other information from the outside looking in, it looks exactly like that at the base detail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything looks bad on the outside.
Everything looks bad on the outside when you take a look at this entire fucking group.
Yeah, I was gonna say we look awful. No shit. I mean, the shit that I just pulled in front of Wakako Okada, fucking
Mhm.
Christ.
Me with my nomadic background.
I mean, some of the shit that we do on these jobs, we look like fucking assholes. But
We are fucking assholes.
yeah, we are fucking assholes. We're trying not to be. We're trying better. We're trying to do better. I mean, shit. I mean, you ever talk to Slideye alone?
On occasion.
Jesus Christ.
No more damage than the rest of us. Just has a unique perspective on it.
No more damage. Are you fucking? Are you? Did you hit your head recently? She's pretty whacked. She's pretty fucked up, man. She does a
Okay.
pretty good job holding it together most of the time, but Jesus Christ, she's got a pretty twisted look on things, man. She's getting better, don't get me wrong, but man, she's a real head case.
And you aren't? I'm not?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like I said, English. God, I can't talk today. Unique perspective.
No,
That's what it comes down to.
I love her to death. She's my closest friend. But I just hope she believes in herself soon.
I think that's something we both hope for.
Do you want a cracker?
Nah, I'm good. You're growing. You need it.
I mean, they're just saltines. I don't know why they're saltine crackers. Does Requiem really like saltine crackers? Is that what this is?
I learned a little.
Saltine crackers.
I learned a little about him, not his, taste for food.
Who eats just saltine crackers? It's the weirdest thing.
There's a lot that could be said there.
But with Lou and Trix, between the both of them, maybe sharing the last of the saltine crackers and observing Calhoun for the remainder of the day, between all of the shifts that go on, between exchanging anything, was there anything else that y'all wanted to learn between the four of you about Calhoun and his routine? Specifically.
Well, I want to follow Slideye's observations and try to take a closer look.
Okay, so you want to do a cyber tech as well?
Yeah. So I have binoculars.
Okay.
And I have cyber eye implants that let me get a better look at motherfuckers.
You have that zoom connectology. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd love to do perception.
Okay.
Or conceal reveal object. Ooh, or his calls. Could I? Oh no, he's not moving his lips, so I couldn't read
No.
his lips.
Sadly, every
Yeah.
call that he takes when you see his eyes go
It's
blue
in his head.
is not out loud. On purpose, you would
Okay.
imagine. But
Yeah, I imagine. So that an enterprising young fixer like me couldn't read his lips.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Let's do a reveal object check. Let's see if you can track and see what it is that he might be concealing on his person.
Excellent. That sounds great. I've got 3 more luck, so let's go ahead and throw them all at it.
All right. Sounds fantastic. I'm going to call this... I'm going to base his difficulty off of his conceal.
Excellent.
Okay.
Gotta get a good roll tonight. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, no. Lou. I
Oh,
was
no.
lowering the difficulty for that, too. I was just...
My luck
It's
got
not possible.
on the Lou.
Because I was
It's
just
not
going to make
possible.
his modifier the difficulty class, but you didn't even make that.
How?
Sad day.
How? How is that my 3rd in a row?
Crit fails are following you so bad today.
How is it possible?
Yeah.
I mean, I even accidentally rolled on German. I rolled German on accident, and that was a negative one. A 1. How? Are my dice broken?
Look, you're Derek dicing is what it is. You have the Derek dice today.
Is it possible?
Don't give them back.
What it is, we blessed mine last week,
Mm.
and somehow cursed Lou's.
This is
Look,
impossible.
There was
All right.
a week where
Hey.
Derek was rolling all of the crit successes, so
Yeah.
Yep, and this is it. This is karma.
between D&D and Cyberpunk,
hmm
like the last couple of weeks, Derek's had good weeks.
All right, that's it. I'm paying the price of Derek's dice.
Mm,
So be it.
Sadly, you're not able to reveal anything extra about
Even with a 6.
even with a 6. Even with a 6, you don't make the difficulty class. If he's concealing
it's
anything,
fine.
like a weapon or anything of that sort, you couldn't tell.
Yep, so be it. Bullshit.
Which could be telling in and of itself, but you don't really have any idea if he's carrying a weapon, if it or what else he might be concealing on his person, or anything. It is the suit is well fitted, but it is also not revealing of anything at all either. It's well tailored,
Mm-hmm.
so at least you get that observation.
Yeah, all my smash going to waste.
Oh, sad day. Okay. Trix, were you wanting to commit some kind of role to this endeavor? Because we had
Yeah.
Slideye,
Let's just
Lou, and
take,
okay.
more or less just taking Requiem's position of just confirming things that we know.
Okay. And so for the rest of the day, between the observations that you all make throughout your various shifts, he keeps to the itinerary. He keeps to the itinerary very, very closely. Like, if you notice that if you suspect that he's meant to be somewhere in a matter of minutes, he is. He is present for all of his appointments kind of well before he's meant to be there. You get the distinct impression that he is a man who is on time at all times. So, outside of that, though, the observations that you have made so far are what you were able to walk away with after this first day of observing. So, that would conclude your observations for the day. You are able to get back together if you would like to exchange information, but outside of that, if there's anything more that you want to do or say to each other or what have you, now would be the time to do so before the end
Nah,
of the day.
I think a phone call's probably fine to, reconnoiter.
Okay. So group phone call. Group phone call to exchange all the information, as well as anything else you might want to say.
So, what do we think? Is the operation a success?
Yeah.
Slideye, how's that gift horse looking?
Well, seems to be coming out pretty good at this point. Information seems to be good, haven't been caught yet.
Oh, speaking of which, I didn't make Lou and Trix make stealth checks to stay undetected.
No, you did not. No takesies backsies, motherfucker.
Wow.
You ain't catching me.
Okay, do we really want to test it and have her roll another crit fail?
No, we'll proceed. We will proceed.
Coffee is a benevolent god.
That is on me. I am a gracious god.
So, yeah, I mean, do we push our luck and follow him around for a second day, or do we show up early and drop off the information? Try and
say
get...
you guys-
mhm.
I say you guys follow him around for maybe another half day. I'll work on, quote unquote, taking the damage I need to take.
Again, I'm still not sure why you have to be damaged. You don't even have to show up to the meeting. I figured I'd show up with the credit. I'd show up with the information, broker the money, and then leave. We don't all have to show up for that.
Precaution.
I know we did last time, but okay.
I don't.
Well, shouldn't you take damage from their servers then? Shouldn't you be seen? Look, we know Die Hard watches us, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't you be seen
And-
jacking into their servers?
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Okie dokie. Hey, never mind. Pardon my questions.
I'm just not going to fight too hard against it.
Ugh. Who's coming with you?
Requiem. In case things go too far, he can at least stabilize it and get me patched up. It's always good to have a med tech on hand.
Sounds right to me.
That's if
Slide,
he's
are you
willing.
okay occupying the van with me tomorrow?
Slideye. I think you were asked a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I blanked at that point.
It's okay. You okay sitting in the van with me tomorrow, Slideye?
Probably for the best.
All right.
Do we
Requiem, you
expect
okay
any-
with... Mm-hmm.
Do we expect any heavy action?
Not if we keep our heads down.
And if we don't? Okay.
We run.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Requiem, are you okay watching our girl Trix?
He might have stepped away. I'm not sure.
I'll take your silence as complicity. Thank you so much for your agreement.
Is that me?
Oh yeah, you.
Yes,
I did not hear anybody say my name. I am sorry.
you're so
Don't worry, I
good.
think we're all in that same space right now.
No, I just sat down. I'm sorry. I had to go help my mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're so good. Yeah, Trix wants you to go with her to back her up while she tries to jack into the Biotechnica systems so that she can, be seen doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically his subsidiary.
Yeah, Calhoun's company, so that
Yep.
we aren't seen getting the information by some other source or suspected of getting it from some other source.
All right.
All right.
All right. See
The day
y'all bright and early tomorrow.
and with the day concluding.
Sorry, Coffee.
And so, is there anything specific you're looking to on the second day to do regarding that? Because I know Trix was thinking about taking a little bit of a heat from the Next Tech Dynamics servers, which we can just do a dice roll for, really, if you're not intending really to defend yourselves trying to jack in, whether you're doing so remotely or Raven stepped away here for a second too, so
You guys say Ravens
I
BRB.
think yeah, I think also we have a place that we were going to pull more information that we talked about that we were going to attack.
Yeah, just for the net running proof, more or less.
yeah. Okay. So that's not a big deal, because that's you intentionally failing a interface roll to jack into their systems, whether remotely or on site with that. So normally you would run into demons that would deal a d6 worth of damage, and you can properly jack out if you would like as soon as that happens.
Is point. So you want me to go ahead and roll the interface?
Nah, you
Okay.
said that you're gonna purposefully fail it anyway.
I'm going to purposely fail anything against the demons.
Yeah, so
Please.
you would take 1 damage from a demon that is protecting like a password or something.
Okay.
So you don't even get into the systems.
Okay.
So we're not going after the extra information that we were doing?
I don't know, are you?
I figured what he provided us would have been everything that he let us have access to anyway.
Okay. It was my mistake then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we just kind of comboed plans is what happened.
All right.
This works.
With a satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, I figure if you're going in there, you may as well go after something too.
That's up to you, Trix.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Let me randomize an
My-
architecture for you.
It might give me a little bit more damage as, proof of legitimacy, at least.
You're going in there. You're gonna take damage. You may as well, see
Yeah.
if you can get something for it.
Yeah. See if he left us anything extra to play with.
Okay, then make me an interface roll. Are you on site or are you remote?
On site.
Okay. So, first of all, make me a stealth check so that you can remain undetected while physically there.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a nice roll. That's a very nice roll. Okay. So you jack in to a terminal and you are able to successfully jack in. However, the first thing that you encounter is some black ice.
Okay. What kind?
A wisp.
Okay.
And I already dealt the damage to you, so it's your turn. So.
Going to try to slide by it.
Okay, so just do a slide. Now keep in mind, you don't have any weapons or defenses.
No, I don't have.
Rezzed up yet. Okay.
I don't get any.
That's an egg one.
Yeah.
And its perception is a +4, you silly.
That's okay. This was planned.
This part of it was planned, yes.
Yes.
Well, it crit failed too, so that's a 0 + 4 versus your -2. So, yeah, it rolls damage on you and hits you for 1. That's the roll that I made before. Okay, so that's the planned taking of damage.
That's the plan.
What do you do next?
Might as well have a little bit of fun and res up sword.
Okay, so you take like a net action to res up sword. So that's your second action of the turn.
And swinging.
Swingy. Its defense is +2. Well, you hit it, so
Yep. Let's see here.
do
That
some
was...
damage.
You said it's a black ice.
It's a black ice. Yep.
So that's 3d6.
Okay. It's not de-rezzed yet.
Okay.
So it's going to take the attack action at you for its turn.
Yep.
And you can roll your defense roll, because you don't have a shield rezzed yet. That would be a 11 on its end, so it does hit you.
Yep, it does indeed.
For 5 damage.
Excellent.
Okay, so it's back to your turn.
Going to swing at it.
Okay, so it rolls defense. Ooh, it crit.
And it crit.
Yep. So that's a that's a 20 on its end.
Yep. Nope, that's certainly gonna miss.
Okay. Your second action.
Another swing.
Okay. It rolled a 9 total, so you hit it.
Yep.
Ooh.
15.
That knocks it out, so that one is donezo.
And moving on to the next floor, if possible.
Yep, next floor doesn't have any black ice. It's a password, so difficulty 8 interface check. And you pass.
Now, was he nice enough to leave anything on this floor for me to discover, or do I have to go further?
Nope, there is more to go.
Okay. Going to continue on.
However, this particular floor, there's some black ice there that is rather monstrous as soon as you get there. So you would know one program to be called Dragon and another Wisp.
Oh. Dragons, Seeing Dragon, she's gonna back out.
Okay. You jack completely
Jack
out.
out. Yeah. dragon is not one she's willing to deal with just for legitimacy.
Okay. Nothing learned.
Nothing learned. That's fine.
Nothing learned you didn't already know, anyway.
Yeah. But hey, took damage needed. Without getting too injured.
Yep, not getting too injured. All right. Well, that does it for that. And unless there's something else that y'all were looking to do regarding Calhoun at this moment, the next step would be to deliver the information you have to Diehard.
I thought we were going to do another half day of watching him.
Yeah, that's kind of what you were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless
you're not
there's
gonna make
more.
us roll another stealth check and observe him.
Trix already did, so you can.
Yeah, I mean,
You can roll a stealth check.
If you want.
it's another shot at observing him. So
Yeah. So unless there's
this is
more
more
you want to learn
information,
specifically.
it's more information, which means more pay. So yeah. Slideye, you're okay going forward with this, right? I can't roll a sixth crit fail in a row, can I?
I don't know. You tell me. The nervous laugh. Hey, that's
Oh,
a 13.
Okay, thank God. Oh,
You're fairly certain that you are undetected. Observing him more, he follows the itinerary that was set forth for today, as far as you can tell. The observations that you do is more of the same, unless there's something specific you are looking to do this time around too. Otherwise, there's nothing new to observe. Unless you're looking for something specific.
like something like a perception or a reveal object roll, something like that, just to
Try it again.
get some information on what he's doing. Yeah, just something like that.
Okay. I'll allow you to do another reveal object to see if there's something he's concealing on his person. The observations you make that are obvious again are that he has a security detail, he has Takagi as his drivers, he has a bodyguard, and actually several bodyguards in tow in his AV. A lot of the more obvious stuff is things that you pick up on again. The AV's different this time, but that's to be expected.
Is it?
He changes vehicles.
Why does he have a different AV? He changes vehicles?
You imagine he has multiple vehicles at his disposal.
Is that typical?
Unless that concerns you.
I don't know. Should it?
I don't know. Should it?
I don't know. Should it? I'm asking you.
I don't know. Do you think that's sus?
I asked Slideye. Slideye, is it sus?
Why do you use such antiquated slang?
It's coming around again. It's cool again. It's chuggy.
I want to double check. No, we are not on the short bus, so I'm not sure on how this ended up happening. Alright. Does it seem sus? A little bit.
Sussy Baka.
Probably the biggest reason for suspicion mostly just comes down to the intel. Came across a little too easy. I just can't figure out why, who, and why we got involved in a setup. But until I am convinced that it is, I'm not gonna act on it. Just keep plugged in. I am going to... It's just double checking. We're still on our patrol portion of this, right?
Until you tell me you're going to deliver your info.
I am going to... I want to end up taking just a look around at the corner of my eye. While we're watching this, are we also being watched?
A very good question. A very good question. That is a perception check. Ooh,
Holy shit, not a terrible roll.
very nice.
20.
Beautiful.
Yes. And you're only noticing it today. As there's a drone. Whether it's watching you, or whether it's watching him, or whether it's watching something else, you can't be too certain. But that wasn't on the route there yesterday.
Overhead. Got a buzzard. Can't quite figure out what it's observing, but it's following.
That's unfortunate.
Ooh, even with that perception check, like, you don't have zoom on your eyes, do you?
No. Don't have my eyeballs modified just yet.
Let me see what I got.
Okay. Make a perception roll
I got
yourself.
image enhance. That's good enough. Yeah, that's zoom.
Yeah. I'll take that as zoom.
That is zoom. That is legally zoom.
So you can make a perception check now that you're aware of it. Okay. You take a look at it, and you can zoom in. I mean, there's a big fat Arasaka label on the side of it. Once you zoom in, and based on the camera placement, it looks like it's looking at you.
Yeah, naturally. Well, damn thing's Arasaka, so. Die Hard's got his eye watching us, as usual. All right, well, no funny moves. We just stay on him all day and take the information over to Die Hard and get our pay and move on with our lives, right? We don't take it personal because, I mean, hell, we knew he was watching us this whole time, right?
Presuming that it's us that's being watched.
Us, him, there's no difference.
There is. Intent.
How's that?
If we're the ones being watched,
Uh-huh.
that implies somebody had leaked us, or one of us got spotted. However, if it's watching him, then we just happen to end up being caught in the periphery. In which case, we're just another vehicle on the road. No different. Nobody's gonna be the wiser. Just a
Maybe.
mom currently here taking her kid out for driver's ed.
You might be right with A, but B is possible too. It could have followed us here, made sure we were on the job. Either way, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I know it's distasteful, but we know how Die Hard operates. Okay, I want to try that one more look at conceal reveal object to see if I can spot anything else on
On his person?
Calhoun's person.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Then roll a reveal. Ooh, that's a nice number. That's a crit. That's a 22. That's a very nice number.
How many teeth does he have?
All of his teeth, and they're pristine and white.
No cavities. Got it.
No cavities. To that note, doesn't look like he has vampire teeth cyberware, much like you have. So that's something that you observe with your zooming in eyes. You reveal, compared to him, let me just pull up his stat sheet again, because let me see what he... no, that's not that one.
Yeah. I get a concealed object. I want his penis size.
Well, he's wearing armor under his clothing. That much is for certain.
Yeah.
And he has a very heavy pistol that just kind of peeks out of a pocket briefly as you're observing him.
Mm-hmm. Does anything about like cyberware poke out or pop out?
He is modded.
Anything really yeah.
He's modded for intelligence and he's modded for dexterity and reflexes. That much you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So
The
nothing really obvious.
telling signs of a Syndevistan at the back of his neck.
Yep.
And underneath a bit of that hair, he keeps his hair pretty long and flowing. Underneath the hair, you do is where you see the mods, the bit of techwear that reveals that he's got speedwear and that he's got an intelligence boost. Netrunner, maybe.
Yep. Okie dokie.
And that's what you have revealed during this half a day.
I mean, that's a critical roll.
Yep, that is.
Staring through binos at his head.
Yep.
Sick.
So, with that being said, and the information that you have collected in order to bring that to Die Hard, I think that's where we're going to conclude the session for tonight. As the reveal of all this information to Die Hard will happen next session.
Goody.
Nerdy Zombie, thank you so much for the follow. And just as we're finishing up, so thank you so much for following.
Welcome.
Yeah. And thanks to the Raiders at Diesel Shot, if you're still here, and Hero Zone for coming in today as well. And
Busy day.
Yeah. And I saw in the chat that Maddie's been subscribed to my channel for 74 months.
Damn.
Y'all,
Holy
that's
shit.
as long as I've been affiliate. So
He's been there from the very start.
from the very start, exactly. So
How does it feel to be an old man?
I am an old man. Look, look, we're going on our 6 years of channel,
Back in
guys.
my day.
Look, 60 months was 5 years. We just passed actually 6 years
Mhm.
affiliate. So, Jesus Christ, y'all. We have had
Jesus Christos.
subscribers for 74 months. Holy shit. Yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I really appreciate y'all coming in for our Cyberpunk Red tabletop game. We are using, of course, the Edge Runner supplement as part of our game to kind of modernize the game up to the 2070s. So the Night City Stargazers is Cyberpunk, taking place in 2074. So you have a bunch of things to look forward to if you are a fan of the game or have played the game, and maybe some familiar faces, but ultimately it is about the 4 Edge Runners you see on the screen now. So so we had some really good session. For those who are just popping in, we had a lot of observation on a target that needed observating. So that's a lot of good information revealed to our Edge Runners for their job, the gig that they have going so far. So next week will be the conclusion of that gig, as they will present their information to their client, and we'll go from there, see what happens next. So with that being said, we have some improvement points to dish out. So with y'all near pretty much having finished the job, the next thing to do would be to award you some improvement points. So I think with having completed the job more or less as it pertains to the gathering of the information for today, I would say that y'all worked together pretty well, accomplishing most of the mission goals with everyone taking part. So 30 improvement points each.
Hey.
And then, based on the fact that there are also role specific sort of improvement point awards, we'll have our players decide who was our warrior, socializer, explorer, and role player from tonight's session. So with that, in the use of any skills, not necessarily combat, but skills today, who was the warrior of today's session? Using skills to really get today's job done.
I guess maybe Trix for the hacking. Or it
Yeah,
could
would
be
be fair.
Slideye for
I would
watching.
say Trix. Trix would probably be it.
Now, it doesn't have to be the specifically the number of skills used. It could be a very poignant skill that was used that kind of tipped the scales in that way. So I'll take either one.
Malou's use in firearms. That definitely tipped some scales today.
We did.
Yeah,
have,
in the negative for sure.
Yeah, we
Now,
did. That was early in the session.
if we're saying just today, I mean, I did get that crit at the end that revealed a lot of specific information about Calhoun. His specific cyberware that we didn't get access to despite several other roles.
He had him pretty well concealed. I will say that is something to keep in mind there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go with Lulu.
Yeah, I'll give it to Lou.
All right, that's majority Lou, I guess. Lou, yeah, I would say that you used your skills often and effectively, often taking out the important opponent, which was his clothing concealing his cyberware and his weapon. And his armor.
Damn clothes.
Yep.
Yeah, good point.
So 20 improvement points for you, my dear. Our socializer. So who was particularly or detrimentally social today?
Looking at you, Lulu. Looking at you. I would have taken it for the role, but you had to one-up me. You had to one-up me. Watch this.
That happened early in the session, everybody. So you should go back and watch the VOD for that.
Bad.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to watch
fire.
that one.
Let's fire a heavy pistol a few feet away from Wakako and see how this works out.
Right.
Yeah, I get a lot of credit for that. You're right. I did make a bad situation worse.
Look, I'm willing to give you XP on it because hopefully you learned something, bro.
Yeah.
There's that. There's the playing. What's the fucking thing called? You know how my brain works. It's poorly.
Same.
HR.
Yeah.
HR for the crew. When everybody was picking on poor Requiem.
Not picking on him. I was making an observation.
I think that one should go to Lou. Just why would you pull one on Wakako? Of all people.
It was near Wakako, and if it makes you feel any better, I'm entirely ignorant of these things.
No, legitimately, my brain was... I was just praying, like, don't shoot Wakako, don't shoot Wakako. Critical fail. Are we the reason she's constantly in a chair?
It was really good. It was really good. It was really good. That went exactly as it should have.
I mean, out of character, that did maintain player cohesion in giving us a laugh. So I'm gonna say 20 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
20 points.
Thank you.
Explorer. Who ventured forth and explored things today? Whether it's plots or whether it's actual scenery.
I think we can give that to Slideye. I think that she explored relationships within the team.
Ooh.
You know, but between her conversation with Lou and Requiem, And then, later Trix and Lou were even talking about Slideye. I think that that made up a lot of the mapping of the emotional parts of the episode.
That is a very strong case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give it to Slideye for that one.
Okay. TJ?
I'll agree with it going to Derek.
Okay. Derek, you get the Explorer, so yeah, I say that you explored the situation pretty well. So 20 points.
Okay.
Our role player from tonight. Now, who?
I'm giving that to Requiem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best scene or line or whatever, what have you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I could see it. I
I'm
was
giving
trying
it
to
specifically for the intensity and the whole bit of "Don't call me a scav," and then it happens
Yeah.
again.
There's only two things he doesn't like being compared to, and it's a group of people and an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are a blight on everything that he tries to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it to him.
Then it goes to Requiem. I'm gonna give you 20 points because you roleplayed in character all of the time, often effectively.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, that concludes the improvement or experience points as the game does give to you. Is anyone spending any points?
I gotta figure out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some figuring on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Solar's
something to
still up
spend.
because Raven was slacking.
Hey, TK Killer, thank you so much for the follow. All right. Well, thank you guys
Excellent.
so much. You've run in here, TK. Just as we're finishing up, they've just awarded some improvement points. Our edge runners will be deciding what they spend those improvement points on during the off week. But in the meantime, you can catch the VODs that we have posted previously on YouTube. You can catch up with all of Night City Stargazers from session 1 to 13. All of that's up right now. 14 will go up next week, just before we go, well, not just before, but before we go live for session 15 next week, so that you have you're all caught up and everything on that. We also do D&D games on Saturdays. At the same time. We generally try to go live by 8 o'clock Central Time, but here is where you all get to do all the things and stuff. Apparently there was an audience vote, and Mox was the reason that Lou got the audience favorite today, so 10 points.
Beautiful.
Like I said,
Thank you
Raven was
so
slacking.
much.
I forgot about audience favorite because I'm a fucking idiot.
To be fair,
You're a
just
fucking
because I was
beauty.
slacking, we were already most of the way through it. I just put up for 3 minutes instead of the usual 5.
Yep, Mox loved Lou tonight, so
Yep.
we
Thanks,
Tonight,
Mom.
Coffee, you are what we call a space cadet.
Look.
Because there is nothing but space between the ears.
look. I never said that there was actual brain matter in there.
No, someone else is borrowing the brain cell of the group tonight.
No, it's that I'm actually thankful that other brains are sitting with me at this table today because I want to thank you guys for giving me the prompts that you were specifically looking for when it came to Calhoun and his wares, his whereabouts, and everything like that. Because without your ideas, I would have not really known what it is, what to do with that. So you were looking into things specifically, and that gave me the prompt to then tell you based on your role how much you find out. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for being thoughtful people, and you get to present your information to your client next time. So, all of you out in Twitch, if you aren't following yet, go ahead and hit that follow button, because we go live on Wednesdays and Saturdays, generally around 8 o'clock Central Time, and everything is posted on YouTube, which the link has been provided. If you want notifications on when we go live primarily, you can join the Discord. There's other channels in there, but that's primarily what I use it for. And so, with that being said, we will conclude the session for tonight. So, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Hi.
I am not a fucking scaff.
Close enough.